The year is 2024, and fanboys are still seething about The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I have been seeing a lot of attempts in recent years to try and do this thing to kind of devalue the N64, devalue the game, devalue Zelda's legacy, right? We saw a lot of people like come out in droves to condemn like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Majora's Mask back in the day. But now, Ocarina of Time is in this position where people are seriously trying to rewrite history, seriously trying to convince you that Ocarina of Time is not special, it's not innovative, it's derivative, it's uninspired, it's not a very good game, right? They are trying desperately to dethrone Ocarina of Time as the greatest game ever made. And the way they're trying to do it is by claiming that other games did the same thing but better, right? The examples I've seen recently, the most common are the original Tomb Raider and Goemon. And of course, like Tomb Raider isn't a particularly good game, right? Super Mario 64 far surpassed it with its control scheme, with its environments, with its level variety, with its mechanics. Tomb Raider is nowhere near the same level of quality as Ocarina of Time, right? But you still see a lot of people use it, right? Like people are in this desperate situation where they need to devalue Ocarina of Time's legacy. Because as long as it's the greatest game of all time, people have to pay attention to what the Zelda IP is doing. And no matter how many people, no matter how many times absolute nobodies on YouTube produced video essays talking about how Nintendo didn't want to make The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, or like Wind Waker was a complete disaster, or Skyward Sword is one of the worst games ever made. Tears of the Kingdom is a masterpiece, but it's like no matter how much they try to downplay what Nintendo is doing, it simply isn't going to work. Like they're gonna have to dismantle almost 40 years of content at this point, right? It's not just A Link to the Past and Ocarina at this point. You have everything that came after. You have games like Zelda 2 and Link's Awakening, which were overlooked at the time. You have cult classics like Majora's Mask, right? You have weird spin-offs like Four Swords Adventures and Triforce Heroes, and you have the games that are coming out today. Tears of the Kingdom and Echoes of Wisdom, which are looking spectacular, right? What Tomb Raider game is coming out in 2024 that anybody cares about, right? And you're going to sit there and try to tell me that actually Tomb Raider was only made by 6 people, which is way more impressive than what Nintendo did. Come on, get out of here. You need to stop. You are embarrassing yourselves.